We're here on the tour bus of Megadeth. They're in Toronto opening up for Ronnie James Dio, and we thought we'd do an interview, and we understand they're in the back of their bus. They're watching a movie or something. I think it's Annie Hall, just watching a movie. You know, they have so much time. You got to pass on the road here.
Go! Come on, go!
Hi, guys. How are you? What's going on here? What's going on? You guys have been called Thinking Man's Thrash. Is that an appropriate label?
I think it's right. You know, they hit the nail on the proverbial head. You know, it's like with me, I like to tap people's curiosity when it comes down to thinking. Not very many people think. The average education level in the world is a 5th grade reading level. You know, and you figure 5th grade, 5th grade I was like just learning what girls were about, you know, and to think that that's where people's brains stop, you know, it's no wonder so many people get divorces. But anyways, you know, there's all kinds of ways to educate yourself, and most people learn how to drink real well or to ruin people's lives, and we want to help people out, you know, like make them learn how to read and make decisions for themselves.
And you think you can do that through the lyrics?
Well, yeah, if you look at a word like anathematize, when you say, what does that mean, you look it up in the dictionary, you know, it means like to put somebody under a spell. You know, it's a good word. I mean, not very many people can use anathematize in their day-to-day, you know, vocabulary, but once you start using the dictionary, you start getting interested, and you might buy yourself a book or something and start reading a little more or whatever.
People are saying the kids don't really listen to the lyrics. Do you think that's true?
That's a lie.
I think it's a lie, too.
Unless there's like a puppeteer opening and closing all these guys' mouths in front of us. They know every word.
You know what,
I know what I say, and I watch them sing it right along with me.
People don't listen to lyrics to a lot of rock bands because they don't write anything that people want to listen to, you know? They listen to about how they're, you know,
how
their
they're
favorite
cowboys.
rock stars, like, getting laid and how big their sock is in their pants, and it's like the lyrics in this band, we live in a real world where you get hip quick or you get ripped off and you get raked over the coals, and it's like, that's our saying. It's like, what are you, new? Get a clue, you know, get hip to what's going on, and that's what I think a lot of Dave's lyrics are really about. They're real street level, and it's, you know.
A lot of metal bands have been taking a lot of flack for their lyrical content. Have you people fallen into that same problem?
When you stand on your own 2 feet and do things your way, you're always going to get flack from people. And we're, you know...
We may hear flack, but we don't take it.
Yeah, we don't take it at all.
Because it's like you can only listen to what people say for so long, and if you listen to everything everyone says, you're going to be running in circles, chasing your tail,
then
wondering what's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You just got to do and stick with what you believe from the beginning, and if obviously it's working.
I mean, we hear people say we don't necessarily listen. Our motto is she'll subdue but never tame us. I mean, they can handcuff us and put us in a straitjacket in a padded cell, but one day they'll open the door and I'll get back out.
What is it about Megadeth that you won't find in other thrash bands?
I don't know. I think that Megadeth stands apart from a lot of these bands because we can actually play our instruments, for one thing. We have some chops to play.
In the video community, they tend to lump all heavy metal videos together and call them sexist and racist. Do you agree?
I don't know. I think, especially with Megadeth videos, we don't talk about sex and drugs and, you know, life on the road, except for the song 502 on our new record, which is definitely the day in the life of a, you know, Megadeth tour bus. You know, life on the freeway is hell, but that's okay because, you know, got nothing better to do. But I don't know. I think that, you know, our videos are a little bit, especially Peace Sells was definitely a concept video. It had a lot to do with just like everybody's everyday way of life from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to sleep. You know, it's like get off our backs, you know, we're doing our thing. We have long hair, but we're not stupid. And that's kind of what Peace Sells in a summary is all about.
Dave, you were with Metallica right at the very beginning and then split off from them. And every piece that I read about Megadeth, there's always some comment about Metallica and Megadeth. Is that something that's always coming from the interviewer, or is it something that you like to talk about?
We don't bring it up. You know what? I think that there's like, especially in America, there's a few magazines, I won't mention any names, but this whole Metallica-Megadeth feud has gotten so blown out of proportion, and it's... I think that, I mean, they're a good band. They do their thing.
They do their thing.
They do their thing, man. But we're, you know, we're our own band. We do our own thing. And I think at the beginning, a lot of people thought maybe we were riding on the coattails of Metallica's success with him. But now,
yeah, we just
3 records
right
later, yeah, 3 records later, I think we proved ourselves. You know, enough said.
Because if you play both records at the same time, you can tell who does what, and that there's melody and mosh, and that there's mosh and melody and mosh and mosh and mosh, and you get more melody and mosh for your money on that side.
Yeah, definitely more notes per dollar on our record.
Yeah. I heard a comparison once that you guys said is like the difference between Megadeth and Metallica was the difference between the Clash and the Ramones.
It's because we're a thinking band and they're a thrashing band, you know? And it's not that hard to sit there and go wheelie-doo on the leads, you know, instead of trying to do pentatonic inverted scales and diversified things, you know, that other people can... I mean, I play guitar, and one song on this new record, I use my thumb to fret off the octave, and I'm going 12 fret span and using my pinky at the other end to get that thing done. I mean, you can cheat and do it like different ways using a capo and stuff like that, but those guys are the last person I ever
it's a
imagine
with the
seeing do stuff like that.
It's a long wheedly-doo.
You know, we use a lot of double hand playing, you know, using different chords. There's chords where you finger like this and then you finger like that real quick to do a second chord faster than going da-da. It's like da-da. And it just goes so much faster, you know, there's intelligence in our playing. We're trying to rip the guitar apart and put it back together again. My guitar barfs all night because I beat its guts out on stage. I put it back in the case the next morning and things like all sweaty and bloody and spit it on and stuff.
Isn't there, I guess with thrash, there's a whole new guitar technique coming out, just like cutting corners.
It's like chainsaws with volume knobs.
Saving time so you can get the notes in less time.
No, we don't.
We're about taking the time to do it right so it sounds the best.
We have a couple of ballads on the new song. That, I mean, when I set out to start this band, I wanted it to be the utmost furious, ultra-heavy band in the world, and I knew that speed, you know, does not necessarily go hand in hand with talent. And that's why when people say, well, what kind of band do you think you are, man? What kind of name do you think you are? You know, thrash metal, speed metal, death metal, black metal, gore metal, this, that. We say Megadeth. That sums it all up, you know. I mean, it doesn't have to, you know, say, oh, well, we're limited to thrash, or we're limited to speed metal, or we're this or that, you know. It's the way we classify ourselves.